Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. This weekend, it's America's birthday. We're going to be celebrating the 4th of July this weekend. Usually, we started doing Friday Night SmackDown reviews on Sundays, but there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Not just America's birthday, the World Cup. I got to watch that Mexico game. That's going to be cool. So we're going to get into Friday Night SmackDown tonight. It was a pre-recorded SmackDown. This episode of Friday Night SmackDown was recorded on Monday. Monday after Monday Night Raw. It aired tonight. And it was a good episode of SmackDown because they went back to 2 hours. SmackDown is no longer 3 hours like it has been, which is super nice, right? And I watched it on Netflix with the VPN. So not only was it 2 hours for me, but it was commercial free. So I went from watching a 3 hour SmackDown to about an hour and 20-minute SmackDown because the commercials is damn near 40 minutes. But we are going to be going over that tonight with the Snug Wrestling crew. Tommy and Toxic, welcome fellas. Mr. Blood is out. How y'all feeling tonight?
I'm doing good. Happy to spend 4th of July tomorrow. I'm going to be going to the lake with my family, so that should be fun. But SmackDown was great tonight. I mean, not entirely great, but there was some hits on there. There were some spots that I didn't really care for in the show, but most of it was pretty good.
Yeah, the show was pretty good overall. I did have some iffy portions. I will gladly restate when we get to that match exactly what I've been saying involving Fatal Influence. Because, yeah, I will gladly die on that hill. But overall, the show itself was pretty decent.
What's wrong with Fatal Influence, Tommy?
JC Jane is the only one out of the three of them who should have been called up.
Okay.
I will gladly die on that hill.
All right. Well, I think I was kind of feeling like that at first, but after watching what they did with them tonight, I kind of changed my mind a little bit on that, and I will tell you why when we get there. Because first, we heard from the new Undisputed Champion, Sami Zayn, opened up the show on Friday Night SmackDown with a mixture of boos and cheers there for a little bit, right? And this was Sami Zayn's Undisputed Championship celebration. And his promo was kind of 50-50, kind of heelish, kind of not. Because he kept saying, I could rub it in the haters' faces, and I could say I proved them wrong, but I'm not going to say that, even though he technically already did. I told you so. I told you I was going to win it, and I was going to do it the right way, and I was going to do it my way. And he kind of made some comments there. I kind of felt like he was talking about Karrion Kross a little bit. There was people saying that I should go more on the darker side, that I should do this, and I should kind of do things differently, but I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that so I can win the championship, and I stayed true to myself, and I won the title the right way. But then he was interrupted by Cody and Jey Uso. Both guys came out to not only congratulate Sami Zayn. These two guys are former friends. They're happy for Sami, but also to call their shot for the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes is the former champion. He feels like he deserves a rematch. And Jey Uso wants to bring the title back to the family. So, how is this going to go down? Usually the opening segment for these WWE shows sets up the main event, and that's what happened here. Adam Pearce, the acting general manager taking place for Nick Aldis, made the match official in the main event, Jey Uso versus Cody, and the winner gets a title shot versus Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw. Welcome, Mr. Blood. Perfect timing. What did you think about the opening segment, Mr. Blood? I know you just got here. I'm not sure if you completely caught up with SmackDown, but if you like, go ahead and jump in, or we can let good old Toxic go first.
Are you talking about the opening segment with Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Cody? So my thing is I already knew about this because I had done an episode of the Blood Drop on our TikTok, the Blood Drop channel. You can check that out on TikTok, the BLUDD Drop. Follow us over there. And then you can follow me over on Instagram at blood_rush, where all my wrestling news goes as well. But yes, I'm a part of the channel that does the news correspondence for wrestling. Have another episode coming out after this show as well. But regarding the opening segment, I was aware of this on Tuesday morning because the SmackDown had been pre-taped after Raw. So there were already spoilers for it when it came down to it. And I was aware of them and I broke down this whole thing. When it comes down to it, I don't have a problem with it, more or less the fact of I think it's kind of ridiculous that Sami just won it. Now we're automatically going into a number one contenders match. Now we already know the outcome, which I'll wait till later because I'm sure you haven't covered it yet. And I already know the outcome. And I know that this match for the title is not taking place on a SmackDown. It's not taking place at SummerSlam. It's taking place on Monday Night Raw next week. So for me, what I find weird is, one, it's a SmackDown championship. It's the undisputed title. The fact that you're having this championship match on Monday Night Raw instead of SmackDown, one, would be kind of a shit thing to do for SmackDown because they don't get the rating spike for that match. But two, you would only put it on Raw if there was a reason. And that reason to me is the rumors are probably true that CM Punk is returning on Monday Night Raw, even though he's going to be a SmackDown superstar going forward, according to reports, that he's going to be feuding for that championship on SmackDown. My only thing I'm worried about is that Cody is going to win on Monday, and then Punk and he are going to feud for it after that, and I feel like Sami is going to be used as a transitional champion. So I would like this segment more if it wasn't screaming, we're just yanking it off of Sami and not even giving him a proper title run, and that's what I'm worried about. So I didn't like it because I realized that's what it's leading to.
Well, it is going to be in Chicago, so that would make sense if Punk were to make a return for it to be in Chicago, his hometown.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about that because I know that's coming and Punk's gonna obviously return in Chicago. I mean, every time they're in Chicago, I feel like he's there. But it's just the entire opener for SmackDown was predictable because we knew Jay was going to be showing up to SmackDown. And then, of course, Cody was going to show up. So I expected all of this to happen except for the number one contenders match, which I got spoiled on. But I was ready to see who won the number one contendership, even though I already knew who was winning.
Yeah, I saw the number one contendership clip going around, specifically Adam Pearce specifically talking about it and him saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do this on Raw. It's going to be between Jay and Cody. I'm like, okay, great. God, I hope this isn't what this is sounding like. But I am so happy that my tech is finally deciding to be nice to me because I can finally talk about our new Grand Slam champion, that is Sami Zayn. I did see the clip right after Night of Champions of somebody in a Q&A with Karrion Kross and going, hey, this just happened. Sami Zayn just won the world title. What are your thoughts on it? His response was to get up out of his chair, spin around, and go, finally. So that worked out so well. I was able to see that. But this specific spot, I'm terrified that this means that, unfortunately, Sami will only hold it for a week and a half, and that's it. Even though he 100% deserves a real title run.
Well, no matter the circumstances, I'm always down to see Cody versus Jay. Two of the biggest stars in WWE going at it in the main event on a Friday Night SmackDown. Sign me up, right? But I want to talk about Adam Pearce a little bit because Adam Pearce showed up on SmackDown, acting general manager because of the whole thing that happened with Nick Aldis and Gunther. We didn't really have a chance to talk about this yet, But what do you guys think about that situation? Because Adam Pearce showed up and tried to kind of make a statement like, all right, well, we're going to have a big number one contenders match and the title's going to be defended on my show on Raw. What did you guys think about that? And also the thing that is happening with Gunther and Nick Aldis, they both got suspended, I believe, under investigation. What do you guys think is going on with all of that?
Yeah, so again, we already knew after the events of the Night of Champions this past weekend, the after show segment of Gunther getting in Aldis's face, altercation, shoving each other back and forth and having to be pulled apart and cussing at each other. And we knew that essentially they had been suspended pending investigation. I think we heard that on Monday on Raw from Michael Cole and Corey Graves. It all feels like they had to set it up this way coincidentally to have an excuse to put the show on Monday Night Raw by having Adam Pearce be the acting SmackDown GM so that he could selfishly take the match for his own actual show because Aldis wasn't in his way to stop him. So I definitely feel like there's going to be friction there when Aldis gets back. But also, it's definitely the only way they were able to write it in a way where fans would accept it, to where it made sense that the SmackDown World Champion is going to be on the A show featured in a title match, probably the main event of Monday. And this was a smart way to do it. It does make sense. Obviously SmackDown and Raw, they compete against each other. Why would Adam Pearce do SmackDown any favors when he's really running Raw? So of course, hey, you're not here. I'm gonna book these guys on my show because I'm in charge of them here and there, and I'm telling them to go to my show. So with that being said, it does make sense story-wise. I'm fine with it. I don't know if this is leading to an in-ring return from Aldis. There's been a lot of speculation on that for about a year and a half now, especially when him and Drew were getting into it when Drew was feuding with Cody. But nothing ever came of it. But I would definitely say that between Aldis and Pearce, I think fans have really wanted to see Aldis back in the ring a lot more. WWE has even followed suit with that fandom, that fan theory that in the WWE 2K26 game, they have them both added as playable characters where they can, when they used to wrestle, like their entrances and everything. So I feel like we could be seeing that more often than not. I'm wondering if this leads to a match between Aldis and Pearce. Maybe Pearce gets back and goes, you stole this, you took that, and then they start butting heads and it results in a match. I'd be fine with that too because they were both great wrestlers. So I'm fine with it, mainly because it serves the story in a way that's not overly coincidental, but it does follow the narrative of we are competing brands and your competitor is leading your show. So why wouldn't your competitor who's leading your show take your title match for his own advantage? Completely makes sense.
Yeah, I've already said this on the Night of Champions review that I hope it's just not, if Aldis does get back in the ring, I hope it's just not another Pat McAfee situation with Gunther where he just absolutely beats the shit out of him and that's it. But I mean, the entire situation, it's understandable. I mean, Gunther put his hands on Aldis first, so I mean, but I've already went over that. But I'm excited to see where this goes because I think they might just be having them off SmackDown, just like set it up or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, plain and simple. I got 5 words for you. Aldis, put on the trunks. I really, really want to see Nick Aldis in the ring one last time, even if it's just a one-off thing. I want to see Aldis in the ring because I've seen videos of Nick Aldis in the ring back when he was on the Indies and all of that, and he is damn good. So I severely want to see him in the ring, even if it's just a one-off.
You want to see Nick Aldis in his undies?
Fuck off, Snug. You know damn well that ain't what I meant.
All right, let's go on to the opening match of Friday Night SmackDown. It was a 6-woman tag team match. Your girl, Charlotte Flair, teamed up with Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green to face Jade, Cargill, and Michin and B-Fab. Charlotte Flair has been coming after Jade Cargill. And, you know, the whole history with Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton, they had a match at Night of Champions. So there's a lot of history in the 6-woman tag team match. But the thing that stood out to me the most about this match is Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green was the most over wrestler in this match. It wasn't Charlotte, the queen. It wasn't Jade. It wasn't the Women's United States Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Everyone in the arena was behind Chelsea Green. When she got the hot tag, the place exploded. They were chanting for her nonstop. And it just so happened that Chelsea Green, of all people, was the one that ate the pin. Jade Cargill hit her finisher on Chelsea and got the win for her tag team. The heels, Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab, got the win in this 6-woman tag team match.
I definitely feel like it's on brand for Chelsea. I really do feel like Chelsea Green is the R-Truth of the women's division. Grossly underrated, but like deservedly beloved by the fans and the audience, people at home. She has everybody's respect, like R-Truth, and it's well earned through years of dedication. And like R-Truth, she has settled into the role that she has allowed WWE to put her in, and has not complained, and even on Unreal has taken it with grace and like, look, you know, I know the fans want this from me and they hate my booking and this and that, but she's like, I love my job. I love that I get to go out there and make other people look great. And I've gotten to live my dream doing this. I've gotten to have my dream home built from the ground up that I designed because of this job. So, you know, if Chelsea, I've said this before, if Chelsea is fine with the way that WWE books her, who are we to, cry about it when she's clearly happy with her life? She's happy with her job and her body of work. And when she gets a reception like this, can you really argue with her? Because you don't have to be the face of the company, the top guy or the top girl, to get beloved the way that Chelsea is beloved, the way that R-Truth is beloved when he comes out. Because a lot of the times people forget that fan favorite does not mean main eventer. It just means you are beloved and the audience is willing to give you everything. And in this match, Chelsea being over, I think is perfect, because it just goes to show that you can have all these great talents in the ring, and the one person that they're paying attention to is essentially the jobber. And she's literally out there, in my opinion, outperforming everybody in sheer charisma. Her wrestling ability is second to none. Again, grossly underrated. But even if she eats the pin, fans, though they wish that they would give her a more serious run, she can eat that pin with grace. It'll do nothing to her. It won't hurt her at all. So she is the smartest person to pin, because they can pin her 100 weeks in a row. And on that 101st week, the fans will still love her. So I was fine with this.
Bro, she's even getting huge pops in backstage segments. Like as soon as she walks in that picture frame, you can just hear the arena in the background just going nuts for her, bro. It's crazy.
That's just because Chelsea's infectious. She's someone that a lot of people, I feel like, in the workplace, especially in the wrestling industry, when I used to wrestle, I dealt with guys who, in different locker rooms would piss and moan on the indies. Oh, I wish this. I wish they'd give me more of this. How come I never get to do this? And you hear a lot of complaining and belly aching in the locker rooms. If you've ever been in a wrestling locker room, ever gotten to interview someone, and you hear someone in the back, they just bitch and moan a lot of the time. Well, I wish I had this spot. I deserve. I this. I that. Chelsea's out there treating this like a team effort. The bullshit that WWE tries to peddle to us and tell us it's a team effort. Everybody here, we're on the same team for the best this, the PR bullshit. Chelsea's literally living it. And she's working in that real mindset and aspect of, no, like, I am a utility player. I am a team player. I go out there, I make someone look great. I give the crowd what they want. I give energy, and I have fun. And I do it because we love to do this. It's not about when am I going to get my shot. It's about how can I go out there so we have the best match or the most memorable match on the show that people want to talk about. And that's why Chelsea gets the love that she gets, because she's earned that through sheer perseverance and just a great fucking attitude.
I call this match happening as a way to properly start Jade and Charlotte's feud off. So I mean, sorry to be a blood, but I called it. But I found myself kind of bored during this, because I mean, it's a 6-woman tag match. It's a 3-on-3 tag match. It's boring sometimes. But I did love Chelsea Green's showing in the match. I think if pairing her up with Tiffany Stratton gets her these kinds of showings and matches and wins in matches, then I'm all for it. But I thought it was stupid having Jade pin Chelsea, but hearing what Blood said made me change my mind because she's having fun. She's wanting to do this. She's wanting everyone to look great. So how can I say that it's stupid in my opinion when she's wanting it?
Yeah, this match was interesting for me, especially knowing the fact that Chelsea Green did get the pin, even after the fans absolutely adore her. But what I found most interesting didn't even happen in the match. It happened in a backstage segment before the match. Charlotte Flair was approached by Alexa Bliss, and Alexa asked her, "Hey, why didn't you tell me you were going to be at Night of Champions? Why didn't you tell me you were going to be there? I probably would have been there with you. Why did you not tell me? I didn't know you were there." So they do all of that, and Charlotte's response was, I'm impulsive. So her going after that United States title, in which she slightly is, despite the fact that she's also helping her with it, it truly does show that she is willing to put everything aside, even if that means not telling Alexa Bliss where she's going to be.
I would like to add to that and say that I like that whole segment too, because despite how annoying it did get with Becky Lynch as the Intercontinental Champion, just having them flip-flop it back on her in every chance they got for the last fucking year and like 4 months. That United States title, when it was introduced, if I remember correctly, Zelina Vega was the inaugural, right? The Friday directly after.
It was Chelsea. That was
it Chelsea? She beat Zelina, right? The SmackDown after WrestleMania last year.
I think it went Chelsea, then I don't know.
Yeah. I believe they had a match because it's the same night Aleister Black debuted. But the point is that since this United States title has been introduced, it has had some momentum. It's had some chance to get some credibility, and they have shat the bed with it. They've gone from Chelsea, who was over as fuck with it, put it on Zelina. People were okay, a little behind her, barely got her on TV. Goes back to Chelsea. Then it's back to, I think it went to Julia. Then it's over here. Then it's over there. Now it's on Tiffany, and it was over on, like after everything they did with the IC championship on Raw, despite how people feel about Maxine, people wanted to see Maxine win it. People wanted to see AJ Lee win it. People wanted to see Becky take it back from Lyra. People wanted to see Becky and Lyra and Bayley go over it. This women's United States Championship needs that same level of credibility. And I think that putting it on Charlotte is a smart idea. And I think even though having her in a tag team with Alexa is good, and it's done wonders to rehabilitate Charlotte in the eyes of the fans, I think that allowing her to still dip her toe in singles action is a smart idea, because it allows for the most like decorated women's champion of all fucking time in WWE history to then look at a mid-card title and raise it up another level. And I think it desperately needs that competitive edge and nature in that division.
Yeah, but other than that, Alexa Bliss is weird, bro. Talking about, why didn't you tell me that you were going to Saudi Arabia? You went to Saudi Arabia. Girl, Charlotte's a grown-ass woman, bro. Blood, remember when I was like, hey, Blood, you made plans on Friday? How come you didn't tell me, bro? Come on, dog. What are we doing? Speaking of singles action, Rey Fenix and Hijo del Vikingo showed the fans in Atlantic City in New Jersey. They gave them a little taste of what they can see over down there in AAA. Because the Cruiserweight Championship was being defended by Rey Fenix. I believe this is like the second or third time in a row that Rey Fenix has defended that championship every week on Friday Night SmackDown. This time it was versus the Latin American champion, El Hijo del Vikingo. And they had a nice little lucha libre match, high flying, exciting. Had some nice spots there that the fans were chanting, "This is awesome." And it was a nice little 10-minute match. Rey Fenix retained, and Hijo del Vikingo was on the main roster of WWE. Hijo del Vikingo is the only AAA luchador with an exclusive WWE contract, reportedly. And they've been saying for a long time that Hijo del Vikingo is going to go to the main roster. We saw him on Raw last year a few times, but we saw him on Friday Night SmackDown tonight, which I thought was lovely. The match was lovely. And I'm a big AAA fan, so I thought this was great.
I think it's great. I think that there are certain instances where having AAA stories and or matches, it works in the main roster. I know that like when the El Grande story would pop up for a cameo on the main roster, even though it technically started on the main roster, the fans couldn't give a fuck. And then they'd go down to AAA. It's the most over fucking story in the modern era of AAA. Then you take a match like this where, you know, the fans don't know the story. They don't know the context. They know Rey Fenix is champion and Vikingo is the number one contender. That's all they know. Here's a match, middle of the card. But then you get a great match like we had, and a great title defense, great retention. And it's basically free promotion for AAA. Like, hey, Megan, while you're here, I know that a lot of, because WWE's smart, they know how much of their main roster casuals don't watch AAA, but they're trying to go, hey, we know you don't watch AAA, but if you did, this is the kind of wrestling and match you'd get to see on AAA. These are featured players on AAA. This is one of our champions, and this is one of our highest, you know, rated performers, Vikingo. You know who Rey Fenix is? Here's Vikingo. So I think it's extremely smart. I think it's harmless. It does nothing but good for AAA. It's great for the main roster. They get a great match. Get some fresh eyes on Vikingo who haven't seen him yet, because you have new casuals every week. And then you go, hey, by the way, if you like this, you can check out more of this over here on this day. So I think it checks all the boxes of a necessary plug for a AAA show without it being a tacky plug, because you got a title match in the middle of the show. And I think that's great.
The match started great. It's an occurring thing in all of Rey Fenix's title matches. I had no words the entire match. That's how good it was. But like I said, when Rey Fenix faced Axiom for the title, if these are the type of matches that Rey Fenix is going to put on as a champion, a fighting champion like his brother Penta, put the U.S. title on him after he drops the Cruiserweight Championship. Or if you want to, have him go for the Intercontinental. I want to see Rey Fenix with a WWE title, because if this is what he can do with another quote unquote promotion title, then what can he do with a WWE title that would elevate him more than he already is with the AAA Cruiserweight Championship? So I'm wanting to see where else Rey Fenix goes with the championship. I wonder if he's going to start like an open challenge thing. But I'm excited for it, and I'm ready to see it.
I am also definitely ready to see Rey Fenix with a main roster title around his waist at some point, because let's be honest here, if he's able to do this with the Latin American title, it is only a Cruiserweight title. Latin American was still there in the ring, but still, if he's willing to do this with a AAA title, just imagine how he's going to be with a main roster title around his waist. It is very clear that it is only a matter of time before this man ends up with a main roster mid-card title around his waist. But if I wasn't already interested in AAA because of all the NXT people that have been showing up on AAA as of late, I definitely would be, just from this match, just watching it. If I wasn't already into AAA, I would want to watch more of AAA just from this one match alone because of how good Vikingo is.
Well, I think the WWE heard your little rant, Mr. Blood, when it came to Carmelo Hayes about how he should have been in the Night of Champions. It should have been a triple threat match. Carmelo Hayes deserves it. He deserves that spot. Trick Williams and good old Little Yachty, Trick Williams' manager, showed up on SmackDown, and they were interrupted immediately by Carmelo Hayes, where Carmelo Hayes called his shot. All right, now that you beat Ricky Saints at Night of Champions, now that that's out of the way, the only thing that's left is me. Trick, I want a title shot, and let's run this shit back from, our history from NXT. Give the people what they want. But before Trick Williams can answer, Little Yachty jumped in, and he said, all right, bet. You'll get a match, Carmelo, but it's not going to be for the title. Next week, you're going to get a one-on-one match versus the champion, Trick Williams, and then we'll see what happens from there. So they're starting to build up this feud, which I hope it turns into a feud between Trick and Carmelo Hayes, two former friends that go way back all the way to NXT. And they have a match set up next week. They had a little confrontation, a little altercation, a little physicality there. Trick Williams gave Carmelo the backhand. Then Carmelo did a little suicide dive out there to Trick Williams. So they put a little bit of heat before their next match next week.
Yeah, this is great, man. I'm glad Carmelo's getting a shot. My only issue is that, again, I still feel bittersweet about it. I know fans are going to be like, oh, well, they gave it to you and you're still complaining. Okay, kiss my ass. They're giving me the one-on-one match. I still would have loved to have seen Carmelo in a triple threat with Trick and Sammy. I would have loved to have seen Carmelo in a triple threat with Ricky Saints and, Trick. Like I wanted him in a triple threat because the way they built the story was triple threat bound. It was like all roads pointed to triple threat. But WWE's just been yanking him out of the story at random over the last 4 months, where he's involved and he's gone for 2 weeks, and he's involved and he loses a match and someone else gets the match. Then he's involved, then he loses the match, and then Ricky gets the match. Like, give us the triple threat. Like, it would probably be the match of the night or the show stealer if you put any combination of those 4 guys. Now that Sammy's world championship, so take him out. But when he wasn't and he was still in this story, take those 4 guys in any combination of a triple threat match, and it's fucking fantastic. Like, the way I see it, I just want Carmelo to get the shine he deserves. He's been on the main roster since, what was it now? Was it, I believe, he debuted on SmackDown WrestleMania 40 weekend after WrestleMania 40. So it's been like on SmackDown. He had that, his first night on the main roster, the dude's got a championship main event match against Cody fucking Rhodes. Like, how do you go from that to then a best of 7 series with Andrade, who's not even in the company anymore, to he's barely on TV for most of last year, if ever, to then he's the United States champion in the beginning of, part of this year in the Open Challenge, to now he can't even get on a pay-per-view or a PLE to defend that title or be in a championship match to contend for that title. It just boggles my mind. The guy is a consummate fucking pro. Dude is insanely athletic, gifted, great on the mic, and he's got an energy about him that fans like. So I'm just saying, like, it's not hard to push the guys that deserve to be pushed, especially when you're pushing everybody around them that's in their league and class. Like, you gave Trick Williams the rocket as soon as he got up to the roster. You gave Braun Breaker a rocket. You gave Oba a rocket. Carmelo got all of 2 weeks of a rocket, and then nothing, and then a 7 series with Andrade. So I don't know how come all these guys can intertwine and intermingle in NXT, and Carmelo can beat these guys and has proven he can hang with these guys and is better than some of these guys, but then he gets up here and he's the short end of the stick guy. It just boggles my mind. That's all I'm saying. But at least he's getting a title match again. My problem is I don't believe he's winning. I think Ricky Saints is going to interfere or cause something. That's what I'm expecting.
Well, he hasn't gotten it yet. He has to beat Trick Williams in a non-title match first, and then they'll see if Carmelo gets the title match.
I got a feeling he might win that one. or Trick is going to get involved, and then it's going to, maybe if we're lucky, this is going to turn into a triple threat if Ricky gets involved. So if that's the case, I'm hoping that happens. I also got a weird feeling that at some point, Yachty's going to turn on Trick.
Yeah, I definitely hope Ricky interferes in the non-title match just so Trick can go, hey, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. How about we end this for once and for all at SummerSlam and a triple threat for the United States Championship? I would like to see that, but the segment itself, I have no thoughts about whatsoever. It's a segment and I liked it, but I just need to see this triple threat because of one, how good of a match it sounds. Two, I mean, it's the same thing as number one. This match just sounds really fucking good. So yeah, no thoughts.
Yeah, it's this simple. Make Ricky Saints interfere. That way Carmella goes, hey, I'm tired of a combination of you screwing me over or you screwing me over. I got screwed over that title by Trick Williams back when Sami held it again. And now you've got Ricky Saints over here screwing me over. I want both of y'all, and I want that title on the line. That's what I want to happen. I want this triple threat. Just give it to us. You've got 2 nights of SummerSlam on the first 2 days of August. It's right there. There's your shot. It's plain and simple right there. Just put this triple threat on the damn card. Make it happen.
No more triple threats, y'all. I think I want to see Carmelo beat Trick next week. I think that would be interesting. And then that'll just line up Carmelo automatically for a U.S. title shot. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see Carmelo get over next week, but we will see. Because, Bloody, you want to jump in there? You got something to say about that?
Yeah, I'd like to see a triple threat. Fuck you.
Nah, bro. Come on. All right. Let's talk about Tommy's favorite faction, the Fatal Influence. Lainey Reid. She had a singles match versus Brie Bella, and they said that this was Brie Bella's first singles match in over 10 years. Bella is one half of the women's tag team champions, and it was cool that, you know, they're putting this new girl that I just called it from NXT in this spot versus a Hall of Famer. Brie Bella is a Hall of Famer and a champion. And not only that, but Lainey Reid went over. She pinned a current 1/2 women's tag team champion. So could this maybe line the Fatal Influence up for a future title match? I think so. And I think this is probably the first time where I'm like actually kind of interested in the Fatal Influence, because since they came in, they haven't really given us, they being the WWE, much to really, I guess, look forward to when it comes to the Fatal Influence or care about. But now they got a singles win over Brie Bella. Now it's like, okay, maybe we should start paying a little bit more attention when it comes to them.
Here's the thing. It's only impressive that you say that you have a win over Brie Bella because she's a tag champion and because she is somehow in the Hall of Fame earlier than her or her sister should have ever been put in the Hall of Fame. At the end of the day, I am not impressed when I hear that anybody beat a Bella, let alone Brie. But also, I guess if you're going to have a veteran do the job for a younger talent, this helps them in a massive way. They can say, hey, I pinned a current champion and a Hall of Famer. But for most fans, they're going to go, oh, well, it's Brie Bella. Like, it, you know, it's, you didn't beat like Trish Stratus, you know, like it's Brie Bella, you know. I mean, I'm fine with it. I didn't give no fucks about this at all. I actually forgot it happened completely. because unless it involves my goth princess from upon high page, I doth not care when it comes to these tag team titles.
Yeah, I genuinely didn't care for this match either. But I do one thing that I did wonder while I was staring off into space, that when Brie Bella does the yes kicks, they called them the it kicks, I'm pretty sure, right? Well, Michael Cole started calling it the yes kicks again. So I wonder if they got the ability to say that again or call them that again.
They never
Or-
lost it. I'll actually tell you really quickly why. When Daniel Bryan went over to AEW, when he exited after his triple threat with Edge and Roman Reigns, and Vince tried to ask him if he wanted to stay, he said, okay, you can go over. But when Daniel went over and they were chanting the yes and everything over there, he got an email or a call from Vince, and he was like, hey, I don't want to send you any cease and desist or nothing. I'm just asking kindly, would you please refrain from using it because we feel like it's ours and our thing. Don't do it. So he kindly stopped using it, even though the fans would do it. So in WWE, because he got it over in AEW and the fans wouldn't stop, they were like, well, there's nothing we can do about it. We can't trademark yes. So they were like, okay, we'll just call the it kicks and we'll give the credit to the Miz, because they didn't want to reference Daniel, who is working for their rival company.
Yeah, and I also think Michael Cole just calls them the yes kicks just like instinctually. It's just a natural thing for him. And then Corey Graves has to jump in and correct it right away before the fans could catch up to it and before they start calling them the yes kicks.
I mean, you'd think they'd bank on it anyway. I mean, everybody fucking knows Brie and Daniel know that she's married to Bryan Danielson. Like, that's her husband. So, like, I mean, why not just give her the rub and call them the yes kicks, even if it's a nod to him? By the way, Brie was still doing those before she retired, when Daniel was still in the company, when he was retired. So they were the yes kicks then. I don't know why we got to it kick it now. I don't care who got over with it. She was still using them. She's synonymous with him. So is he. It's not a big deal. It's just semantic bullshit. But I apologize, Toxic.
Yeah, Corey Graves just sounds like a dick every time he says, "Oh, the Miz did that." Like,
I fucking hate him. I can't stand him on commentary. He's my least favorite commentator in history.
Well, that's Corey Graves for you. He's a dick all the time. But to finish up my thoughts, Snug, yes, this is leading to a tag team title shot because they went over what matches we got announced for Saturday night's main event, which is Danhausen and JD McDonough, and Fatal Influence, I'm pretty sure, Fallon and Lainey versus Brie and Paige. So I'm not excited for either of those matches. I could give two fucks less.
Again, I will gladly die on the hill that JC Jane is the only one who should have been called up, because Snug, you and I talk NXT, even while Fatal Influence was still in NXT. What the hell has Fallon Henley or Lainey Reid done to show that they deserved to be called up?
I can answer that. Fallon Henley won the the Women's North American Championship and the Women's Speed Championship.
All I know
Speed
is
title
that
don't mean shit.
all I know is that Lainey Reid defeated a WWE champion and a Hall of Famer, bro. So
Again,
put some respect on her name, bro.
Yeah, I'm with Blood. Here's the problem. It was a Bella. If it was somebody the size of Charlotte fucking Flair, then I would be impressed. But because of the fact that it's a Bella, I am not. I'm seriously not. Even though it is the better twin, that being Brie, I still could care less.
I mean, it would literally have to be like AJ Lee, Trish Stratus, Lita. It would have to be like a female Hall of Famer, like Michelle McCool, that fans legitimately believed actually could compete with the women in the ring of today. But
You
when
guys
you watch,
are all going to hell.
when you watch the Bellas wrestle now, I mean, you don't buy that they can keep up. I mean, we watched Nikki last year. It was kind of painful. You just don't believe it. So when no matter how quote unquote decorated Brie Bella is, I don't believe for a second that she legitimately beats Chelsea Green in the ring and they've booked her into Jobber Oblivion, and I don't buy it.
No, I mean, I'm not the biggest Brie Bella fan either, as you know, as you guys are. But I mean, the match wasn't bad, and I mean, I'd just much rather see anyone win over Brie Bella. So I was kind of glad that if they were gonna give someone the win over Brie Bella, at least it's a new girl that's just up and coming and she's new to the main roster, you know.
No, and that's great. Like, if you're gonna give her the like I said, this is the best way to utilize a Hall of Famer / current champion in that of Brie Bella. Like, it's okay that Brie, does the honors for Lainey Reid and up and coming. Like, that's what they're there for. If you're a Hall of Famer and you're still wrestling, it is your job, accolades aside, to put over the next generation. Like Kurt Angle was willing to do it when he came back and wrestled. Trish was willing to do it when she came back and wrestled. Ray does it all the time. Rey Mysterio does it all the time. Like, if you're a Hall of Famer and an active competitor, it's okay to go, you know what? I have nothing left to prove. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I've won the champions. I've done the damn thing. I had my career. I will use the clout that all of that gave me to put over a new up and coming talent, even if it's not someone that most fans would look at as a major threat or overly credible like Brie Bella. She is the better Bella, in my opinion, the better wrestler too. And that's not saying a lot, but at the same time, it still means something. And I guarantee you it means a lot to Lainey. I guarantee you it matters a lot to her. That's probably a big deal for her. It's the biggest win of her career. I don't think you can argue that. It's still a Hall of Famer you pinned. It's a main roster champion you pinned. That's a big deal. So, hats off to her. And I hope that WWE at least continues the trend of making sure that Fatal Influence, or whoever the fuck they're called, trend in the right direction as far as their stories getting told is concerned.
Yeah, Paige is next.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Hall of Famers and great matches, the greatest wrestler in the planet Earth, Cody motherfucking Rhodes, Cody Crybaby for life, versus Jey Uso in the main event of Friday Night SmackDown #1 contenders match. The winner of this match goes on to Chicago Monday Night Raw to face Sami Zayn for the Undisputed Championship. And again, anytime I get to see Cody in the ring, two top WWE superstars in the ring, one-on-one in the main event, count me in, right? I kind of felt like this was a little forced. This match was. I'm glad we got it. I didn't think it was necessary because Cody is the former champion, which means rematch clause, people. They pick and choose when they decide they want to implement that rule, right? I didn't see the need for Cody to have to compete and earn a rematch since he is the former champion. And also, on the other hand, you got Jey Uso, who, yes, I know he's a top star. There's history between Sami and Cody and all three of these guys. But Jey Uso lost at the King of the Ring. So it's like, why does he get a #1 contender shot of all people? But anyway, the match happened. Cody Rhodes won. It was a great match. And we're going to get a rematch on Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn for the Undisputed Championship.
Yeah, my thing is, look, it was unnecessary. I mean, I get it because, look, Cody, he's the former champion, rematch clause whenever they decide to use it. But then also, Jay was technically the runner-up of the King of the Ring for his brand, and Oba has foregone his shot for the time being on his brand. So technically, these would be the two that make the most sense for a #1 contendership match, especially since Gunther's already had 2 shots now, 3. So the way I see it, this is fine. Again, I agree, unnecessary. Cody winning, okay. But again, it all feeds into that fear of they're going to transition the shit out of Sami. And I feel like Sami, after a 25-year career, finally getting here, deserves to hold that title longer than a fucking week and a half. Genuinely feel like putting Cody back here is only going to make the fans hate him more. I don't understand why WWE, because I'm a Cody crybaby for life. I love Cody, but I can't ignore that he is being forced down fans' throats. And WWE is afraid that they cannot make money without him being champion if John Cena is not around. So, like, my thing is, you have to be willing to take risks in the business and be willing to let Cody just chase for a while or do a different story or go for a mid-card title or whatever. He can still be your top star and not be in a world title picture. I mean, John Cena did a whole open challenge with the United States Championship for months. And look how well that went, how well received and beloved that run was, that when fans look back on. Hell, that run helped rejuvenate the image of John Cena in a lot of the fans' eyes who were sick of him. And when they saw him going out there, putting on matches with younger talent, giving them a platform, and then finally putting over, I think it was Kevin Owens that took it off of him, they loved him for it. So for me, it just comes down to have Cody do something else. Plus, to be honest, I'm way more interested in the feud or potential feud of Jay and Sami. That's more enticing to me because of their bloodline history. But these guys like fought and came together and were friends and loved each other and are like brothers. That's more interesting to me than Cody takes the title back from Sami. I could see Cody doing a million other things. So as much as this match was, unnecessary, it was a great match. It was a good match. It still just puts that taste in the back of my mouth where I go, man, I really just wish they didn't just automatically feel like we got to jump on trying to get this title off of Sami as quick as possible. This just feels dirty. I just don't like it.
Jay and Cody's first one-on-one, or their most recent one, whatever one it was, but it was a good match. So I expected this one to be a good match, and it was. I really enjoyed this match and the story and the history involved in it. And I liked how Cody looked very desperate to beat Jay. He had that desperate look whenever Jay would kick out of something that he did. He looked like it wasn't enough. He needed to do more. The only thing I didn't like about this match was actually nothing involved in the match. It was I had the outcome spoiled for me. So that made the match less interesting to me. Regardless, it was a good match, no matter what the fucking IWC says.
Was it a good match? Yes, it was. But here's what I will say. The last 2 years has gone as follows. Cody won at WrestleMania 40, then loses it, then wins it again, then loses it, then wins it again from the exact same person he just lost it to, then loses it. I do not need a fourth goddamn title reign from Cody Rhodes. I'm a Cody crybaby for life. Always have been, always will be. But I will gladly say I do not want a fourth goddamn undisputed title reign from Cody Rhodes. What I want to happen on Monday, Punk returns, screws Cody over, and Sami Zayn keeps the title. Because I will gladly say at the top of my lungs, a feud between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk does not need a fucking title. Look at the goddamn names in it. It doesn't need it.
Though I agree with that, my only problem is that requires what you just said requires Punk turning heel. And I think that fans want to see Cody heel more than anything else in order for them to be reinterested in him again. They need to do something with him that gets the fans to be not bored of him anymore, not sick of him. They need to do something where the fans go, I now want to tune in because of Cody, not roll my eyes because of Cody. And my thing is, a feud with Punk checks every box I'd love for SummerSlam. But I agree, it does not need to be over a championship. I do think that you could have, Punk return earlier in the show, maybe opens the show, pop the crowd, then Cody comes out or Sami comes out to talk, like whatever, something happens. And then maybe because of something that happens in that segment, when that match happens later in the night, maybe Punk's on commentary. Maybe he's ringside. Maybe he's the special guest ref. And then because of something that happens in the match, he loses his temper. And that costs Cody. Now they're feuding. You can keep Punk face because it was just him getting his, standing up for himself. And then we're off to the races with those two. Then you can keep Sami over here and let him have at least a few months. Tell some stories. Maybe with Jay trying to prove to Roman that he can take that title. And then if you want, give it to Jay. But let Cody have at least a defense or two. Or sorry, Sami a defense or two. That's all I'm saying.
Also want to point something out really quick before we get out of here because we're coming up on our time is I was interested. I was kind of curious to see what the reaction from the crowd was going to be for Sami Zayn now that he's champion, and it was a mixed reaction. There was a lot of boos. There was some light cheering in there, and especially when Sami Zayn was cutting his promo, he was getting booed for the most part. And then Cody's music hit, and Cody got I felt like it was a little bit better pop than usual. And I want to bring this up because Blood, you mentioned earlier that you said something like maybe the fans might turn on Cody if when he goes up against Sami Zayn, but I think it's going to work in the opposite way. I think the fans are going to get more behind Cody because they want to boost Sami even more.
Though that's possible, again, I feel like we're talking about fans in attendance versus the larger fan base around the world and at home. Because there might be 20,000 people in an arena, but then you have the millions that watch at home who are infinitely more vocal, in my opinion. And those same people that leave those arenas on a Monday night are then the same people that become a part of that worldwide conversation on Tuesday morning. So for me, I feel like they would like it in the moment because their energy is up from the live show. But the moment they wake up the next morning or the next SmackDown comes, they're right along pissing and moaning online. Man, I can't believe they put it back on Cody. Man, I can't believe this. I can't believe that. Because wrestling fans are the most fickle sports fans you'll ever find, period. I think this should go the way of this. And this is what I'm going to end on my piece before I wrap us out of here. I think they're in Chicago on Monday. Let Punk come out as to pop the crowd in the beginning. Cody and Sami come out during his segment. Their match in that segment leads to Punk being involved in the finish somehow. Maybe he's a special guest ref. Maybe he's ringside. If they dive out, they hit him or something. Maybe they push him out of the way because they're getting angry. He gets involved. Sami retains because it's something between Cody and Punk. Then Sami retains. He's away from Cody. Let him go tell a story with Jay or somebody else. Then over here, you allow Punk and Cody to have their feud without a title because it does not need a title. That is CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. I would watch that championship or not, and it'd be my most favorite match on the show that I'd be anticipating. So I think that's the best bet to make all the fans happy. Get Cody away from the title picture. Let Punk and Cody have it. And then when Punk's done, he can challenge for it and let Sami go tell a different story. I think that's much better.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely for sure get CM Punk at least because it just seems too much of a coincidence that the Undisputed Championship from SmackDown just so happens to be defended on Raw when CM Punk is going to be part of SmackDown and they're in Chicago. It just seems like
all
too
those
many
pieces.
Coincidence.
And it feels like the entire reason that they had to have Adam Pearce take over SmackDown and quote unquote suspend Aldis was to get Aldis out of the way so Pearce could make a selfish decision for his brand and put that match on his show. It's all coincidental. It all sets itself up perfectly. But yeah, now it's just a matter of how are they going to execute it in a way that the fans are satisfied and not rolling their eyes by the end of Monday Night Raw. But
yeah, go ahead.
That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Snug Wrestling. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you for supporting the show. That is our SmackDown review for July 3rd, now in the books. And you can catch us live every Monday Night Raw or Monday Night After Raw every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 o'clock Pacific for our NXT post-show review, and every Thursday at those same times on TikTok Live, where we discuss random and relevant wrestling topics and answer your fan questions live. And every Sunday at those exact same times for our SmackDown post-show review. But mark your calendars. Wednesday after next Wednesday will be predictions for Saturday night's main event taking place on July 18th. So on that Wednesday itself, before that, I want to say that might be the 14th or the 15th of this month, will be predictions for Saturday night's main event. And you can follow Snug Wrestling on all social media, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and grab your merch to support the podcast at tpublic.com/Snug Wrestling. Again, that's public.com/Snug Wrestling. Until next time, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug. And boys, that was one time for the one time I said that was
Bonus.
One word.
Yeet.